How's it going, everyone? Today we have a story time of some kids who destroy their school over Italian brain rot. They get in a fight over which character, whether it be Tung, Sahor, Bombidillio Crocodillo, and Tralalalo. I don't even know what the hell is going on, bro. They get a fight over which is the best character. It starts out funny, but then they start getting genuinely angry at each other, and it's a massive brawl. Stuff gets destroyed, windows obliterated. This generation might be cooked, so leave a like on the video right now to claim your free nothing. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and like stories. With that being said, let's just jump right into this story time. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Alex. Alex has a pretty crazy Gen Alpha brain rot class. While, Alex is the same age as the kids in his class, he definitely doesn't categorize himself as a brain rot kid. He definitely categorizes himself as someone who likes normal videos. Like, Alex really misses when the internet was like, they had quality videos where people would really, show what they liked, or even the new Mr. Beastification of YouTube where things are a bit more commoditized. He still liked those videos. But when the whole Skibidi Toilet trend came, he started to lose interest. But his entire class loves Skibidi Toilet. But now, basically, the new Skibidi Toilet is Italian Brain Rot. There's so many characters in it, but some of the ones such as Tung, I had to look this up, guys. I definitely have hit Unk status. But Tung, Sahor, Bombidillio Crocodillo, and Tralalalo Tralala, and more like that. Well, yeah, it's all the rage in the school. Anyways, those things start to get kind of crazy because, at first this was kind of seen as a funny thing, as like, oh, look at these like crazy AI Italian videos or whatever. This is funny. Italian brain rot is hilarious. But then they started to get serious about it. So there happens to be like kids in these in this school, different factions of different kids started to like form gangs. Gangs around their favorite Italian brain rot. I'm not even kidding you. I don't even know how. I don't know how, but it happened. Yeah. So sure enough, right, it'd be like, oh, what Italian brain rot gang are you in? So there's the Tung Sahors, there's the Bombidillio Crocodillos, and there's the Tralalalo Tralalars. Yeah, I feel like I'm literally having a stroke while reading this story, man. I think Gen Alpha might be seriously cooked, bro. Like, I don't even know how to say it, bro, but Gen Alpha might be so cooked that they're beyond cooked. They're at the barbecue, they're smoked, they're seasoned, and they're served on a plate, ready to eat. That's how cooked Gen Alpha might be. Yeah, so sure enough, right, Alex, the subscriber who submitted this story, he was not in any of these Italian brain rot gangs, but this story all took place one day very recently when he was in class. So there's a lot of kids in his class that partake in these Italian brain rot gangs. And essentially these kids, like in the very beginning was kind of funny when these like quote unquote gangs would start. But then it all started, right, when they would sit at in the lunchroom, they would sit at different tables. And it used to be that like, while a lot of friend groups, especially the more cliquey ones, would sit together, that everyone was somewhat welcome to sit wherever they wanted. Like if someone wanted to sit, with a new group of people wouldn't really care. And Alex kind of liked this because he could bounce around from table to table, being able to say hello and what's up to some of his friends. This all ended when the Italian brain rot cults or groups or gangs or whatever you want to call them started to really form. And Alex realized how bad it was when one day he went to go sit down at a lunch table with a bunch of people. Some of them he recognized, some of them he didn't. But this was like any other day in the lunchroom where Alex would just go in and he would just sit down with whoever he thought was cool, whoever he wanted to talk to, something like this. Anyways, Alex goes to sit down and one of them looks at him and says, "Are you a Tralalalo?" And he's like, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "Are you a Tralalalo Tralala?" And he's like, "What?" Because at this point, Alex had no idea what quote-unquote Italian brain rot was or who this Tralalalo Tralala character was, but it kind of just seemed like bad news to him. Like, genuinely, who is a Tralalalo? Who's a Tralala? What is an Italian brain rot? I know what Italian means, and unfortunately, I know what brain rot means. But what is Tung Sahor? Bro, what? Anyways, so he kind of looks at them like, I don't know what that is. And then all the people at the table kind of look at each other. Like, they all give each other a pretty massive side eye, like, wait a minute. You're telling me this kid doesn't know who Tralalalo Tralala is? Get a load of this kid, guys. Oh my God. Yeah, so sure enough, right, the subscriber is kind of confused. He's looking around. And that's when one of the kids is like, bro, this table is only for people who are in the Tralalalo Tralala gang. And he's like, bro, what? Because these are all like, look, when you hear teenage gang, you're thinking of kids that are really tough. They might have like a hoodie on. They might I don't even know, bro. Like these kids are just like nerdy. Like these are not the type of kids you'd expect to see in a gang. Like these are the kids who are farthest away from ever being in a gang that you'd ever imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't make any sense at all. But sure enough, right, the subscriber's like, okay, sure, buddy. I don't know what nonsense you guys are up to today, but that's fine. And he kind of looks at some of the kids at the table that he knew. And there was like one kid who definitely seemed embarrassed by it. But this kid, yeah, he was embarrassed by it because it's ridiculous. But you know what this kid didn't do? He didn't do anything about it. He just let it happen. So anyways, Alex decides to walk over to the next table. And he's about to sit down. And that's when they all look at him. And in his head, he's like, there's no way. There's no way this nonsense is happening all over again. Yeah, but sure enough, right, the kids kind of look at him like, what's this kid doing here? And someone looks at him and just point blank says, Tung, 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 Sahor. And he's just like, am I going crazy, bro? Like, seriously, dude, imagine if you're in the school like cafeteria, you look at someone, they look at you, and then they just start saying tong, 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 Sahor. Bro, how do you even react to that? I think I would start to think, oh my God, I think I'm going crazy. I got to check myself in for a mental wellness check. I got to go to the first building that has rooms with padded walls because I just heard someone say tong, 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 Sahor at me with literally no context. Like, bro, how is that even possible? What does that even mean? What am I supposed to do with that information? Like, I am just genuinely so confused by all of this, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. This information is beyond me. So, yeah, once again, Alex looks at them like, bro, what do you mean, tung, 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 Sahor? And half of them start laughing, and they're like, this kid doesn't know who tung, 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 Sahor is. What? And someone's like, look, buddy, this table, it's only for those who are in the tung, 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 Sahor clan. So some of them are in a clan, some of them are in a gang, some of them are in a secret society, some of them are, forming a new government. I don't even know, bro. And he's like, dude, I don't know what that is. I'm just going to leave. Alex goes to another table. And he's about to sit down. And they all look at him and he's like, what? He knows what's coming. And one of them says, Bombidillio Crocodillo. And he just gets up and leaves. Alex doesn't even allow them to give the whole, oh, you don't know who Bombidillio Crocodillo is? Only people in the Bombidillio Crocodillo gang can be here. Like, bro, he's not even going to take that, dude. He's not going to give them the opportunity to be full of nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not even going to give them the chance to say some nonsense so nonsensical like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they won't even get the chance to do that. Yeah, so sure enough, right, the subscriber, he's pretty annoyed at this point. He's pretty pissed off by all of this, and he hopes it's going to die down. But as you can tell by the title of this video, it does not die down. So a couple days later, he's sitting in class, and for the last couple days, it's been nonstop people just shouting at each other like, Tung, 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 Sahor, Tralalalo Tralala, Bombidillio Crocodillo. Like, it just is starting to get so bad, because there's also so many others. I didn't list them down, but I'm sure that there were other, like, Italian Brainrot gangs for all the other characters that are just complete nonsense to me, but who knows? And it really gets bad one day when Alex is sitting in class. And it's just a normal English class. It's 10 in the morning. Alex doesn't want to be there. He's trying not to fall asleep. And there's a little bit of a group going on. There's 3 kids in the back of the class. There's 3 kids. And they're like, at first they're kind of jokingly talking about Italian Brainrot. They're showing each other their favorite Italian Brainrot, Tralalalo, Bigfoot, shark, whatever the hell, right? They're kind of showing each other their favorite videos on there. And yeah, sure enough, at the beginning of the conversation is pretty funny. Like, oh, look at this video. I find it funny. oh, what's your favorite one? But no. So they're talking back and forth, but things start to turn when someone asks, oh, who's your favorite Italian Brainrot character? And they all look at each other. It's almost like saying, oh, are you a Blood or a Crypt? It's like, are you a Tralalalo Tralala or a Bombidillio Crocodillo? Like, bro, what? Pause. Like, this literally makes no sense. Anyways, though, as soon as they say that, Alex is kind of watching them out the corner of his eye, and he can kind of notice that things for no good reason at all are starting to get quote-unquote tense. It's like they're trying to figure out. So, like, slowly they go around and someone's like, Tung, Sahor. And the other guy's like, Bombidillio Crocodillo. The third one is like, Tralalalo Tralala. And then they go dead silent. They're staring at each other. Which is odd. Like, Alex does admit that it was pretty funny. Like, not in the moment, because he was like, what's going to happen, dude? Like, are these kids about to go crazy? Are these kids about to go mental? Like, what's even going on here? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, after that fact, like, looking back on the story, it's pretty hilarious that these, like, nerdy, probably overweight gamer white kids are, like, just sitting there, like, being like, oh, my God, I'm so tough. And they just said the opposite rival gang. They're in Tralalalo Tralala, but I'm in Bombidillio Crocodillo. So they're my ops, and we got to square up. Like, bro watched one too many movies and thinks he's, like, actually in something tough like that. Anyways, though, yeah, so it's pretty funny to watch them, like, be all so serious over, like, what's your favorite Italian Brainrot character, and if someone says something else, then they're about to actually square up. And the craziest thing about this whole story is they actually do square up, which is insane. Like, guys, what do you mean you actually square up over Bombidillio Crocodillo? Real quick, I want to let you guys know if you're listening to this on YouTube, I stream every day on YouTube. We cover a lot of different things, from watching your favorite videos, playing games, answering questions. If you're listening to this on Spotify, I stream daily on YouTube. Connor Pugs is my YouTube. And I want to say that I have revamped the perks for becoming a channel member. So if you want to consider supporting the channel and the live streams, consider hitting the join button next to my name. If you take any of the channel memberships, from even the $1 one, you'll be added to a private group chat with me on Instagram. And I will talk to you every single day in there. So if there's any questions you've ever wanted to ask me personally, that's the way to do it. All you got to do is screenshot the fact that you became a channel member, send it to my Instagram. I'll add you to that group chat. You'll get followed back. You'll have custom emotes in chat that you can use on videos or in live streams, and a lot of other perks and benefits. If you appear on stream, I'll have everyone shout you out as well. It's pretty cool. And if you don't feel like becoming a channel member, but you want a pinned comment, the first person to leave a donation as a donation comment, because you can comment with a super chat on any of my videos, gets pinned comment. So if you want a pinned comment, as long as you don't say anything too crazy, you can leave a dono or a super chat in the comment section and you will become the pinned comment. Anyways, let's get back to the story because things are about to get crazy. Anyways, though, so sure enough, right, the subscribers kind of like noticing that there's an increase in tension in the room. Like, things are starting to get uncomfortable, which is a little wild. Because he's just like, are they really about to square up? Are they really about to throw it down? Are they really about to fight over Tralalalo Tralala, Bombidillio Crocodillo, Italian Brainrot, Tung, Sahor? Like, bro, what? Yeah, so sure enough, right, they start looking at each other. They're like, what are you going to do, Tung Sahor? What are you going to do? And like kind of taunting the other person. They're like, okay, you really think Bombidillio Crocodillo is the best. You're an idiot. And they start like getting genuinely upset. And probably the funniest thing here is like, they can't see through the meta humor of just like how crazy and stupid this is. Like, they genuinely just are looking, you know, they're about to fight each other over Tung Sahor, Bombidillio Crocodillo. Like, bro, I think you might genuinely have a screw loose, because who cares? Who cares? Anyways, right? So sure enough, right, they start to actually get angry, and two of the kids stand up, almost as if they're going to square up. And this is when, like, the teacher notices and says, like, guys, like, sit down. I'm trying to teach the class. But at this point, the class starts to pick up on what's going on, so everyone's turning around and watching. And one guy's like, Bombidillio Crocodillo for life. And as soon as he says that, he picks up his desk and throws it at the Tralalalo Tralala kid. So the Tralalalo Tralala kid dives out of the way. The desk slams into some innocent bystander who actually gets hurt through the whole process. And that's when a whole brawl breaks out. So first it's like the three kids, but then, so they're just like pushing each other, fighting. At this point, he genuinely just for a second, puts his hand in his face. He face palms because he's like, bro, there is no way this is my class. Gen Alpha might generally be cooked. Comment Gen Alpha is cooked. If you think Gen Alpha is cooked, or if you made it this far into the video, that'll be the secret phrase of the day. So comment that. If you're on YouTube or Spotify, comment Gen Alpha is cooked right now. Yeah, so anyways, an absolute brawl breaks out because it's just these three kids fighting. But then sometimes when there's a couple kids fighting, there's kind of this mentality of like, if we all do it, how can we all get in trouble? But that is not true, guys. You will all get in trouble. It's not that hard. You'll all get in trouble. Anyways, though, yeah, so sure enough, right, the subscribers watching this, face palming pretty hard right now. And yeah, so sure enough, right, there's a whole fight. A desk literally goes through the window. Like, classroom materials are being destroyed. It's almost like the whole school is absolutely being destroyed. And, like, there's dents on the walls. The globe is broken. A picture frame is smashed. Alex runs up to the front of the classroom and, like, talks to the teacher, says, hey, like, do you want me to run and get security? Partially because he wants to help out. But also, two, he wants it to be oh so obvious that he's not a part of this nonsense. Because the one thing Alex could not do, he could not live through this, is going back to his mom and saying, hey, I got suspended from school over Tralalalo Tralala. I think she'd have a stroke if she heard that. Which, honestly, I'm about to have a stroke hearing this, bro. It's literally so crazy. Anyways, though, so sure enough, right, the subscriber runs up to the teacher. It's like, is there anything I can do? She's like, no, just, like, stay back here with me. Security's coming. Sure enough, like, 5 big security officers come into the school. They start, like, grabbing kids, like, pulling them aside, breaking up fights. And there's, like, at the end of the day, this, like, 10 minutes later, there's, like, 2 police officers there, 3 more security people, the principal's there, and Alex is just overhearing them asking questions, which is honestly one of the funniest things ever, because they're asking, like, oh, what started this fight? Why is there a fight going on? And the kids are explaining that they're fighting over Bombidillio Crocodillo, Tralalalo Tralala, and Tung, Sahor. And these teachers are just so genuinely confused. They're just like, no, we're hearing this wrong. There's no way that you're telling me that a quote-unquote Tung Sahor is the reason why you're getting a permanent, letter reprimand on your permanent record. You might get suspended, if not expelled. You have charges against you because of Tralalalo Tralala. And then one kid was explaining it, and I think the police officer's like, sir, you gotta buddy, you gotta explain this a bit better. Pulls out his phone, starts showing the videos where it's like Tralalalo Tralala. I don't know Italian, bro. And the police officer's like, are you serious right now, dude? I don't know what this is, but I know enough to know that this is ridiculous.